everybody! Today I'm going to be showing off a ThoughtfulGPT macro automation that I've built for my own personal use and coaching. Kind of like having a coach in my pocket in real time whenever I want feedback. And I find that I always want feedback, especially after I run my team meetings. And sure, my team does give me really thoughtful, powerful feedback. But because we're all in different time zones and there is an aspect of getting real-time instant feedback from another perspective, it's pretty powerful to have AI's help in fostering my growth so that I can be a better example to the team that I'm leading. And so with that, I'm going to showcase here how I've set this up with Zapier. So I'll show my screen. I'm going to title this Zap Automation Lindsay's Transcript. Okay. I'm going to title it Lindsay's Leadership Transcript Coaching. And we'll start by picking a trigger, which in my case, I have all of my meetings transcribed automatically and saved into Google Docs. And so anytime a transcript gets saved into my Meet recordings, I want to run this process to get this instant feedback on how I can be more effective. And so looks like this is a file that works. We'll pick this document to kind of run the test on. And next step, we're going to process our content with a macro. I'm going to set up my ThoughtfulGPT settings. And now comes the fun part, which is creating our macro to help me be a better leader. So I'm going to use our ThoughtfulGPT grab command. And in this case, I want to reference one of my favorite blog articles by a vendor and company called Torch. They're amazing. If you haven't had the chance to get executive coaching, I would highly recommend reaching out to them. And this article is one that I have bookmarked and referenced quite often. And so our AI is actually going to go grab this article, every time build a quick checklist of habits for it to scan for, to prepare and process this meeting transcript. I'm telling the AI that I've conducted the meeting and appreciate constructive feedback. I'm going to add in the body of my transcript file for AI to analyze. And then also, let's see, what am I missing here? Yeah, I'm going to just let the AI know through a little tag that the transcript file is beginning and the transcript is ending. I also am going to ask and tell it to give me some radically candid feedback. One other prompt that I found works really well is to ask the AI to rate the meeting based on the checklist from 0 to 10. I don't care so much about the rating per se, and you'll see here I'm going to just ask it and tell it in a second the reasoning. Because of course there's no perfect scores. You should always be growing in your leadership, and so I'll tell it, keep in mind, perfect 10 is impossible. No one's perfect, especially not me. But this is steering the AI on how to give me some tips for how I can move my leadership tactics towards a 10. Because that's the golden nuggets of insight that I really care about. And again, I'm reminding the AI that I appreciate highly radical and candid feedback, so don't hold anything back. I'm going to pick my brainstorm macro, then a model called Claude, which is one of my favorites. And I'm going to go ahead and run this quick test to make sure everything's working. And so this is sending the content to our AI to process. And sure enough, it looks like it gave me some really tactical tips on how I can move closer to a 10. And so now, because I want this in real time, I want it to send me a direct message. So I'm going to set up and configure my Slack settings. I could send it to multiple people. I'm not going to in this case, but I do want it directly to myself. I want to see the output, and then I'm also going to add some text in before this just to remind me what meeting this feedback is from. And I'll pull the context from the meeting file title. the bot leadership growth, coach, and insert a little emoji. I don't think I need to do anything else, but we can test this step. And now all that's left is to make sure it made its way into Slack. Looks like everything got set up, and voila! Here we go. It's set up for me to now have real-time feedback into my Slack chat so that I can improve my leadership tactics and be more effective. Hopefully that sparks some creative ideas for you and your team. These coaching macros are really versatile. They could be run for sales calls, customer support calls. So if you have any ideas for how we might be able to help, drop us a line at support@thoughtfulgpt.com, and we'll be really keen to lean in and help you level up your whole team.